Hey, Jeremy here. I'm the founder of LATT SEO. I work with e-commerce brands to help them generate more sales and more traffic from organic search or SEO. What I'm doing in this video is looking at SA phishing to see if there are any opportunities for them to optimize the site better, improve optimization, keywords, rankings, things like that, and help them generate more traffic and revenue. So first thing I like to do is look at this tool here called Ahrefs. And in here, I like to look at referring domains and domain rating, first of all. So first, from a definition perspective, a referring domain is a unique instance of a different website on the internet linking to, in this case, safishing.com. So 1,100 other websites on the internet link to them. And the reason this is something we look at is because Google views referring domains or links from other websites as votes of confidence or trust signals. So as a website owner, you want to have trusted websites linking to your site. That views or puts you in a category of a trusted website then as well. Now, as you get more sites linking to you, more referring domains, your DR or domain rating tends to increase as well. And DR is on a scale of 0 to 100 and basically lets us know how strong or how authoritative a domain is, and also how difficult or competitive a keyword or phrase is to rank for based on the site's ranking for it. So all that being said, I want to spend a little bit more time looking at some keyword data here and seeing if there are any opportunities for SA phishing to rank better. So this chart here shows all keywords and phrases their site ranks for, 10,950. And I have this sorted by search volume per month. So the thing to look at here would be figuring out the sweet spot basically between the key phrase itself, the search volume, current rankings, and then also looking at the difficulty of ranking for a keyword like that. So something broad like bucket hat, even though there's 171,000 searches per month, they're at 97, and they do have the collection in place, and it's in the URL and probably in the title as well. So let's just double check that. Yeah, they bucket hats in the title, and then the rest of the title. What I'm looking at here is, let me just do this, show you the page source so you can see exactly what I'm looking at. And if we look at the title, which is right here, so let me zoom this in for you so you can see it better. So this is the title that Google reads, or any search engine, when figuring out what the page is about. And you can see here the title is Bucket Hats, Shop Phishing Hats at SA Phishing, SA Phishing. So my first recommendation would be to remove one instance of SA Phishing here, and because you don't need, first of all, you have phishing in the title 3 times, so that'd be something to look at there. And then this is probably auto-generated from Shopify, just adding the site title to the end of every page title. So that would be something to probably remove this instance of it here. And you can use the value of that. The reason for doing that is to use this space for other optimization factors, which I'll get to in a second here, and or potentially create a different collection for what I'm talking about. So what I'm getting at here is one of the opportunities that looks like there is big potential would be the key phrase bucket hats for men. And the collection that's ranking for SA phishing is the bucket hats collection that we were just looking at. So if we look at the search results for this, the first thing I like to do is just see if it would even make sense for this site, like safishing.com, to rank on page 1. And to do that, I like to look at the DR. So you see SA phishing has DR 42, Amazon 96, Nordstrom 86, Wallaroo hats 53, Sunday afternoons 49, Kingle 57, lack of color 55, Connor hats 37, 44, 64, 36. So what this tells me is there are other sites that, number one, are lower than them in terms of DR on page 1, and also other sites that are similar to them in the top 4, top 5. So this is a keyword that, if things were set up correctly, if their site was optimized correctly, is something they could probably compete with. So next thing to look at then is what else should be done, or what are the top ranking sites doing that it looks like SA phishing could improve on for this. So the first thing is their title is bucket hats, like we were just looking at, and then in the URL is /bucket-hats. So if we look here, Amazon title is men's bucket hats, and they have men's bucket hats in the URL. Nordstrom, men's bucket hats in the URL. Wallaroo, men's bucket hats in the URL and title. Men's bucket hats for Sunday afternoon, URL title. Kingle does not have that, but they're the only one in the top 5 that does not have it. And they're also the lowest of the top 5. So what that tells me is on the page itself, let me zoom this out now, it looks like they have a list of products here, and then they have some content here at the bottom that is completely optimized for bucket hats, or quality bucket hats here, it looks like. But there's no instance or no mention of men's bucket hats. So a test would be to, if they wanted to maintain this page and this collection to be optimized for bucket hats, to create a new collection specifically for men's bucket hats that can be optimized for men's bucket hats within the title, the URL, and also the content and all the content elements like the H1 and things like that. And the other benefit there is, I would assume some of these products may not necessarily be unisex. Some may be specifically marketed to and tailored to men. And if that was the case, then the product listing within the bucket hats category here, or collection, compared to the collection for men's bucket hats, would be slightly different. But at the same time, you could have the same product in multiple collections. It's not something that you would be penalized for. It actually often makes sense if you had a t-shirt or something, for example, that was in the men's collection and then also in a outdoor collection or something like that. So hopefully that makes sense. That would be the biggest thing that I would recommend from just looking at this for a few minutes here, is to create a new collection or change the optimization if you didn't want to focus on bucket hats. But from a business perspective, my recommendation would be keep the bucket hats collection as is, potentially optimize it better for bucket hats. We can look at some of those factors there, but absolutely to create a men's bucket hats collection that can be optimized specifically for that, because you can see the benefit and the value of the bucket hats for men key phrase here. SA Fishing gets an estimated 397 visitors to this collection page each month, and Amazon 2,520, Nordstrom 4,400, 1,300, 2,100, 7,500. So you can, and some of these numbers, generally you would see the numbers go from largest to smallest or highest to lowest traffic from number 1 down through number 5. But some of these sites like Kangle ranks pretty well for bucket hat, it looks like here as well. So some of these data points will be a little bit skewed based on that, because some of these sites are larger, more competitive, and more valuable from a traffic perspective. But all that being said, that is what I would look at from an optimization perspective to help a site like SA Fishing rank better for bucket hats for men. And that's it. Hope this video gave you some value, whether you are associated with SA Fishing or not, and hope to see you in the next one.